So now the questions of the sages, they begin now. 6 questions, very important questions. So generally everybody is asking questions, but what questions? Everybody has nature to ask questions. But what kind of questions we ask, that is very important. So these great sages, they are asking such glorious questions. 6 questions. What is the ultimate good for people in general? What is the essence of all the scriptures? Why Lord appears? What is the which are the incarnations of the Lord? So, yeah. So these are the questions. So these are very glorious questions. So Prabhupada would say that generally even the birds, animals, when they get up in the morning, they have questions. But what are their questions? Where I can find my food today? How can I earn money today? Where I can enjoy today? So these are the questions animals ask, birds ask. But human beings, who is a civilized human being, he should ask such questions. And Parikshit Maharaj asked 2 questions only. Anybody knows what are the 2 questions? Which will come later. But they were like the essence of all questions. Parikshit Maharaj 2 questions. And in that also Prabhupada writes that 1 question, that was the most important question. So anybody knows what was Parikshit Maharaj the most important question? Suryakant Krishna Prabhu. Yes. Okay,
sure. Yeah. Parikshit Maharaj asked, like, is the most important duty of a dying person? That was this. There are 2 questions. 1 question, like, what was his duty of a dying person?
Second? What was the second question? Yeah, the most important is this, but 2 questions he asked. One is what is the duty of a dying man, and what is the duty of a person in general when he is living. But now somebody knows that he is going to die. Then what is his duty? And then what is the duty of a person in general also? So like that too. But Prabhupada says the second question is very important because everybody is going to die only someday or the other. So that is most important. Tasmat bharata sarvatma bhagwan ishvaro hari shrotavya kirtitavya smartavya cheshata bhayam. So then Shukdev Goswami says the duty of a dying person is Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari Shrotavya Kirtitavyasya Smartavyas Cheshchata Bhayam. 3 things. The whole essence is told in 3 things. What? Shrotavya, Kirtitavyas and Smartavya. Hearing about Krishna, speaking about Krishna, remembering Krishna. बस और कुछ ड्यूटी नहीं है. Everybody's duty is this one. That was answered by Shukdev Goswami, that these 3 things you do, whether you are dying person or a normal person, everybody's duty is this only. And we are also going to die in 7 days. Like Parikshit Maharaj got curse, he is going to die in 7 days. And we are also, everybody is going to die in 7 days. How you know? Because there are 7 days: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 7 days. So we are also going to die in 7 days only. Not 8 days or 9 days. So our duty also dying, we are also dying. So duty of a dying person is these 3 things. So like once Adhana Swami Maharaj was telling, there was a TV show in America where one person who got news that he is going to die within 1 month. Is it cancer or something? So then they broadcasted it live that he is the person who is going to die in 1 month. Now just see what he's going to do. And then because he was very rich, he has a lot of money, wealth, he was enjoying life to the fullest. 1 week he would be in the Hawaii Islands, surfing and boating in the nice clear waters. Another week he will be somewhere in some island, somewhere enjoying with some woman or like that. They are broadcasting on television, like that. How he is passing his 1 month, and everybody was watching. Everybody was watching. Millions of people are watching, and they are thinking he is the real hero. He knows how to enjoy life. So he's about to die, and he is enjoying life to the fullest. And then all the TV show, people thought that people are watching this show so much. So then he didn't die in 1 month. And the TV show got extended. Now, because the people are watching, they wanted to extend. And he was not dying also. So they continued the show. And he was going, and people are thinking whether he's going to die or not. Maharaj tells this story. So like that, people, when they come to know they are going to die, then they want to enjoy life. Or those people are old grandfather, then they say, please call all the relatives. I want to speak some final words and give some words of wisdom to all of them. So sabko bulao, mujhe baat karna hai, and like that. So everybody has some desire, akhri ichha. They actually don't want to die, anybody. But everybody has to die anyways. But how to die, that is what Bhagavatam teaches us. So everybody is going to die, but people don't know how to die. So Parikshit Maharaj is teaching us the art of dying. The art of dying. So the art of, actually, one is art of living and another is art of leaving. Leaving. So Bhagavad Gita teaches us art of living and Bhagavatam teaches us art of leaving. So both are very important. So here the 6 questions are so very important, and we should actually ask these questions and not so many questions which are not so relevant. The questions which are very relevant, but life is very short. And we ask so many questions which are not practical to our life, then our life is very short. Hardly nowadays human beings live 70, 80, 85 years, not more than 80. So these questions one should ask and seek answer and perfect life in one lifetime. That's all. So this says now, this question 9, what is the absolute and ultimate good for people in general? This is the first question. So 6 questions are there. So this is the first question they're asking. What is the ultimate good for people in general? So later the answers will come, but these are like questions. And then they think, the sages, they think like he may tell many things, Sudha Goswami, but we want him to know that people in Kali Yuga are very disqualified, short-lived. So now next verse they tell that how people in Kali Yuga are very disqualified, they are very manda. They will not live for long. So please tell in essence only. Don't tell so many other things. Ultimate good essence में बता दो. क्यों? क्योंकि कलयुग के जीवों का ये क्वालिफिकेशन है. तो नेक्स्ट वर्स कम्स. प्रायेण अल्पायुष्य सभ्य कलावस्मिन् युगे जना मंदा सुमंद मतयो मंद भाग्या उपाद्रिता सूर्यकांत कृष्ण ब्रो. Suryakan Krishna, you can.
The learned one, in this iron age of Kali, men have but short lives. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed. Purport: The devotees of the Lord are always anxious for the spiritual improvement of the general public. When the sages of Naimisharanya analyze the state of affairs of the people in this age of Kali, they foresaw that men would live short lives. In Kali Yuga, the duration of life is shortened not so much because of insufficient food, but because of irregular habits. By keeping regular habits and eating simple food, any man can maintain his health. Overeating, oversense gratification, overdependence on another's mercy, and artificial standards of living sap the very vitality of human energy. Therefore, the duration of life is shortened. The people of this age are also very lazy, not only materially, but in the matter of self-realization. The human life is especially meant for self-realization. That is to say, man should come to know what he is, what the world is, and what the supreme truth is. Human life is means by which the living entity can end all the miseries of the hard struggle for life in material existence, and by which he can return to God, his eternal home. But due to a bad system of education, men have no desire for self-realization. Even if they come to know about it, they unfortunately become victims of misguided teachers. In this
Okay,
age,
fine. This much slow. So, Prabhupada is writing about how people in Kali Yuga. So, this is very important. The duration of life is shortened not so much because of insufficient food, but because of the irregular habits. So, this is a characteristic of Kali Yuga. The habits are very irregular. Lifestyle is very irregular. That's why so many diseases, so many problems, and we see that sometimes very young people die of heart attacks. So the lifestyle has become very irregular. So Prabhupada is saying now people are not dying because of insufficient food, but because of irregular habits. So this is the Kali Yuga is full with faults. So many faults are there. What are the faults Prabhupada is writing here also? Overeating, over-showing gratification, over-dependence on others' mercy, artificial standards. And Kali Yuga people, they are like blacklist. एकदम लास्ट में जो बचते हैं ना ब्लैक लिस्ट जो पहले सतयुग में पास नहीं हुए, त्रेता युग में भी पास नहीं हुए, द्वापर युग में भी पास नहीं हो गए, फिर जो मराठी मध्ये गाळ म्हणतो ना गाळ that is remaining all in the Kali Yuga. So highly disqualified. And the disqualification, some of them are mentioned. Prayana alpayushya sabya. So they will be very short-lived. So zyada ayushya nahi rahega. 100 generally is there, but that was in the beginning of Kali Yuga. Now Kali Yuga 5,000 years have passed. Now that also 100 years is very rare. If somebody lives for 100 years, he comes in the news. So now average is 80, around like that, 70, 75 or 80 when one lives like that. And so the sages are saying, even if, okay, first disqualification is they are short-lived. But even if somebody has a long life, then second disqualification is mand. Means they are very lazy. So पहले तो short-lived है, but anyway, if somebody lives long life, somebody's mic is on. Who is that? Whose mic is on? आनंद मोहन प्रभु, आपका mic on है. Where's mic is on, now we are going to cut marks. We'll keep a track. अगर क्लास के बीच में किसी का mic on हो गया, so his marks will be reduced in the exam. I will keep a track now. Okay? 5 marks reduced. Henceforward. So see, the link goes. So even if somebody has a long lifespan, the second disqualification is he is mand. Mand is dull. So people are very, very dull, difficult for them to understand philosophy. Because of over sense gratification, the ability to capture things, subtle things, reduces. And people are not able to understand many times what we speak, simple things also. So because we are very dull, mand. Okay, even if somebody has long lifespan and somebody is not dull but active, but then third disqualification is sumanda. Sumanda means, actually it is said, sumanda means not interested, uninterested. So somebody has long lifespan, somebody is very active, but they are not interested in spirituality. Nahi hai. Time nahi hai. When somebody says time nahi hai means what you have to, indirectly what they are saying? Time nahi hai यानी interest nahi hai.
Prabhuji, I have a short question on this. Is it Sumanda or Sumanda Mata? That means the opinion is very bad. They are full of misguided opinions, is what my question was, Prabhuji.
Yeah, actually there are different acharyas, they are giving different meanings. So here, of course, Prabhupada is writing Sumanda Mataya means misguided. So another one of the acharyas, he says about that. Sumanda means they are uninterested. Like that. So because that the link is there. That's why I'm interested. I'm explaining. So lifespan hai, somebody has a good lifespan. So he explain like that. And he is not manda also. He is also active. And then he is but not interested. That is third risk. Now, if somebody has a good lifespan also, and somebody is active also, and somebody is interested also in spirituality, but manda bhagya, manda bhagya refers to what? Manda bhagya means even if somebody is interested, if he goes to some sadhu and some organization, religious organization, he is cheated most of the time. So that's why manda bhagya. So in the Kali Yuga, even many religious organizations, they don't give the highest thing. They give some substandard process and people get cheated. तो उनका थोड़ा तो इंटरेस्ट था एटलीस्ट वो भी चला जाता है. Okay, now somebody has long lifespan, somebody is very active also, somebody is interested also, and then somebody has come to the right path also, is bhagya also. Then fifth disqualification is what? Upadhrita, means one is highly disturbed in the mind. So that is our state. We have come to the right path. After so many here and there, we have come to the right path also. But even after coming to the right path, what happens? Mind is so much disturbed. We are not able to focus on the process. And that's why the process then acts slowly. Because we don't put our full mind in it, full consciousness in it. So that's why even though we are in the right path, we are mostly disturbed. On one t-shirt, one boy had written, "Please do not disturb me." And behind it was written, "Because already I am disturbed." So, you are highly disturbed. Upadhrita. So mind is highly disturbed. So that is in general about everybody. Nobody can say that, no, I am not disturbed. So mind is highly disturbed. So these are the disqualifications. So sages are saying, oh, Sutta Goswami, please tell in essence, short, ultimate good kya hai. Don't tell so many things as the ultimate good, because so many things people cannot do in Kali Yuga. Because life is very short. Ohi manda hai, sumanda hai, manda bhagya hai, upadhrita hai. It's a short one. So these are the questions. So this is not the question, but this is like in between two questions, the shloka. So first question was what? What was the first question?
What
What
is
is
the
What is the
ultimate
absolute and ultimate goal?
goal?
What is the ultimate good for the people? That was the question. And then they wanted him to speak in short. That's why they speak this verse. And then the second question is in the next verse, 11th verse. Bhurini bhuri karmani
Bhuri bhuri karmani
Shrotavyani vibhagasha
Shrotavyani bhagasha
Atha sadhu prasayatsaram
atasadu saram
Samudhrutya manishaya
samudrita manishya
Bruhi bhadraya bhutanam
Bhuhi bhadraya bhutanam
Yenatma suprasidati.
Yenamasu
Okay, Ramkishore Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Apuradhika. Yes.
There are many varieties of scriptures, and in all of them, there are many prescribed duties, which can be learned only after many years of study in their various divisions. Therefore, O sage, please select the essence of all these scriptures and explain it for the good of all living beings, that by such instruction, their hearts may be fully satisfied.
Perfect.
Purport. Atma or self is distinguished from matter and material elements. It is spiritual in constitution and thus it is never satisfied by any amount of material planning. All scriptures and spiritual instructions are meant for the satisfaction of this self or Atma. There are many varieties of approaches which are recommended for different types of living beings in different times and at different places. Consequently, the numbers of revealed scriptures are innumerable. There are different methods and prescribed duties recommended in these various scriptures. Taking into consideration the fallen condition of people in general, in this age of Kali, the sages of Naimisharanya suggested that Sri Suta Goswami relate the essence of all such scriptures because in this age it is not possible for the fallen souls to understand and undergo all the lessons of all these various scriptures in Varna and Ashram system. The Varna and Ashram society was considered to be the best institution for lifting the human being to the spiritual platform. But due to Kali Yuga, it is not possible to execute the rules and regulations of these institutions, nor is it possible for people in general to completely sever relations with their families as Varnashram institution prescribes. The whole atmosphere is surcharged with opposition. And considering this, one can see that spiritual emancipation for the common man in this age is very difficult. The reason the sages presented this matter to Sri Suta Goswami is explained in the following verses.
So, here again they are asking, please tell the essence of all scriptures. Either way. So now what is the essence? First was what is the ultimate good for people in general? Short may. Then please tell the essence of all the scriptures. Because scriptures are very huge. And we don't know what to follow, what not to follow, which is lower dharma, which is higher dharma. The scriptures give so many instructions for different people. So they are compared to like Kalpa-vriksha, all the scriptures. So in that, what is good, ultimate good, what is best for me to follow, to draw that conclusion is very difficult. The scriptures are like ocean. So for Kali Yuga people to read Bhagavad Gita itself, when we give Bhagavad Gita, itna bada kitab, kab padenge? Ye to essence. We are giving the essence of essence. And they say Bhagavad Gita itna bada kitab, chota nahi kya. So that's why then we have Gita Sar also, which is itna chota kitab. Gita Sar. Wo bhi nahi lete. So people, now for them to read all the scriptures and then understand what is the essence and then to follow that essence in life is highly very difficult. So that's why even if we had all the scriptures, like we discussed, all the scriptures were burnt and all that, Even if we had, hardly anybody has that capacity to read. And after reading, to understand what exactly it means. So, it's very, in Kali Yuga, people, they just want some good experience in life. That's all. एक अच्छा experience दे दो, then I will accept whatever path you are following. It's like that, no? So they won't care whether it is it's there in the Shastras or not there in the Shastras, or it is right or wrong. They just want nice experience. One should get nice happiness. So then they are ready to do anything. So today's people, that's why it's like postmodern people. Postmodern people means they go by experience. क्या experience आता है? इसमें बहुत अच्छा मजा आ गया. This is right. They're like post-modern, then modern, and then pre-modern or old generation. So the old generation, before modern, they would actually follow what is there in scripture. Scripture में बताया, ठीक है करना चाहिए, मुझे अच्छा लगे नहीं लगे, this should be done because it is there in the scripture. It is like old generation, pre-modern. And modern generation was, you explain me with logic that how this is good and how this is bad. So they would accept logic. Modern generation. A post-modern generation, they accept only experience. Experience अच्छा है क्या? Then this is good. That's all. So pre-modern by scripture, modern by logic, and post-modern by experience. So have you experience of these generations?
Yes, Guruji. Especially we are in college 9 teaching, so we get the anubhav of the students.
Very well.
They are
So
exactly how you have said.
the professor has bona fide. Okay, so Yashika, Ahuja, you have some question? Or you are
No,
saying-
Prabhuji,
Okay.
I have also experienced this. There is one student in the bus. Then she told me कि भाई मेरा experience अच्छा नहीं रहा वहाँ का मतलब मंदिर का. तो मेरे को मंदिर जाने के लिए भी experience की बात कर रहे हैं.
Yeah, if we
भगवान जी से मिलने जाना वो भी नहीं मतलब जा पा रहे.
That's true. That's true. You know. So if pre-modern people were there, they would say, "अरे ठीक है, experience अच्छा नहीं रहा, फिर भी जाना चाहिए क्योंकि शास्त्र में कहा है भगवान के पास जाओ, भगवान की सेवा करो, भगवान का नाम लो." They will come. But now people in postmodern means अच्छा, if you don't treat them properly, if you speak harshly, or the मंदिर में लाइन है और लाइन में धक्का बुक्की हो रहा है, they would not like to come. So one person in Radha Gopinath, he had come for first time in the temple, and then Radha Gopinath Prabhu was giving the Bhagavad Gita course, that 7th session or 6th session Bhagavad Gita course. So in that he was explaining about karma, how karma acts, and how previous karma acts in this life, and this life karma acts in next life. Whatever is happening because of the karma, good or bad, is happening only due to our own karma. We are responsible for our own action and reaction. So then one person, we are so happy, and he went to Radha Gopinath Prabhu at the end of the class, and he said, "Prabhuji, today all my doubts and questions were answered by you. So much, so for so many years I was always thinking that why such things are happening with me only? Why me only? So many bad things of reversal after reversal. Bad things were happening with me. But now you explained that how we are ourselves responsible because those past karma are acting now. So thank you so much. You are so happy." And then when he was going out of the class, and then when he went to the shoe stall, and when he gave the token and he wanted the shoes, then he that fellow, he misplaced, and his shoes got lost, which is very costly, and another shoes were whatever shoes were given. So he said, "Hey, these are not my shoes. My shoes were very costly, new shoes. You misplaced it." So he became so angry on him. He chastised that fellow. He said, "You cannot manage, you ISKCON people, you don't know how to manage the shoe stand. Also, my shoes got lost. I came for the first time," and he chastised him, and he never came back. So now so in the class, he understood that how one gets reaction due to one's karma. And he got the answers also for all his doubts. But when it came to the practical, that ye mere saath kyun ho gaya? So he couldn't apply that philosophy, and because of the experience he had there, he didn't turn out. Gaurav Prabhu tells this. So the experience matters for postmodern. Logic tha, I mean logic he understood in the class, but he forgot when time came. The logic. So today the people go by experience. Anyway, so the scriptures speak a lot, but the essence is what is sought here by the sages. They said just speak the essence, because people nowadays in the Kali Yuga they will not read, and they won't. They are not so much interested in scriptures. Essence क्या है? Essence बता दो बस. ज़्यादा नहीं. So that is the 11th. Then that is second question, and then third question is in the 12th verse. सूत जानासि भद्रं ते
जानासि भद्रं ते
भगवान् सात्वतां पति देवक्यां वसुदेवस्य
वसुदेवस्य
जातो यस्य चिकीर्षया.
चिकीर्षया.
Okay, Yashika Ahujam.
Translation. All blessings upon you, O Suta Goswami. You know for what purpose the personality of Godhead appeared in the womb of Devaki as the son of Vasudeva. Purport. Bhagwan means the Almighty God, who is the controller of all opulence, power, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. He is the protector of his pure devotees. Although God is equally disposed to everyone, he is specially inclined to his devotees. Sat means the absolute truth, and persons who are servitors of the absolute truth are Sattvatas. And the personality of Godhead who protects pure devotees is known as the protector of the Sattvatas. Bhadramte or blessings upon you indicate the sages' anxiety to know the absolute truth from the speaker. Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, appeared to Devaki, the wife of Vasudeva. Vasudeva is the symbol of transcendental position wherein the appearance of the Supreme Lord takes place.
Yeah, so here is a third question. Why did Lord appear? Although they are saying, you know, for what purpose the Lord appeared, the womb of Devaki and Vasudeva. But this is the question, third question. And why Lord appeared in the womb of Devaki and as the son of Vasudeva? So this is the third question they are asking. So why Lord appears? What is the reason Lord appears? So here we should read like that. The son, the womb of Devaki as the son of Vasudeva. The son of Vasudeva. Son of Vasudeva is who? Vasudeva. So sometimes people say Vasudeva ko Vasudeva, Vasudeva ko. So father is Vasudeva, son is Vasudeva. Because it is in Sanskrit, it's called Tadhit, which is derivative. So like Pritha se aaya hai Parth. Pritha is Kunti. Parth is Arjun. So it is like that. From Indra, Aindra. Indra's son. Who is Indra's son? Is actually Arjun. Arjun's name is also Aindra. So it is Tadhit. So Vasudev's son is Vasudeva. Like that. So whenever Krishna's name comes, we should pronounce it as Vasudeva. And his father's name, we should pronounce it as Vasudeva. Like that. Don't jumble them up. So, so the third question is, what is the reason for Lord's appearance? This is the third question. Yeah, okay.
So Prabhuji, today I came to know.
Akashwani, yeah.
Prabhuji, Aindra Prabhu, so that name is because
Arjun, that is Arjun, that also Krishna told me. So that is Indra's son, Indra.
Oh,
It's called Tadhit in Sanskrit. Derivative. Yeah. 13th. Tanna Shushrushamananam
तन्ना
Arhasya Anuvarnitum
अर्थस्य अनुवर्णितं
Yasya Bhutana
यस्याभूतानं
Hemaya Havaya Cha.
हेमाय च भावय च
Okay, Anuj, go ahead, bro.
Translation. O Sud Goswami, we are eager to learn about the personality of Godhead and his incarnations. Please explain to us those teachings imparted by previous masters, acharyas. For one is uplifted both by speaking them and by hearing them. Purport. The conditions for hearing the transcendental message of the absolute truth are set forth herein. The first condition is that the audience must be very sincere and eager to hear, and the speaker must be in the line of disciplic succession from the recognized acharya. The transcendental message of the absolute is not understandable by those who are materially absorbed. Under the direction of bona fide spiritual master, one becomes gradually purified. Therefore, one must be in the chain of disciplic succession and learn the spiritual art of submissive hearing. In the case of Sud Goswami and the sages of Naimisharanya, all these conditions are fulfilled because Srila Sud Goswami is in the line of Srila Vyasdev, and the sages of Naimisharanya are all sincere souls who are anxious to learn the truth. Thus, the transcendental topics of Lord Krishna's superhuman activities, his incarnations, his birth, appearance or disappearance, his forms, his names, and so on are all easily understandable because all requirements are fulfilled. Such discourses help all men on the path of spiritual realization.
So here the sages are expressing their eagerness to hear. They are eager to learn about the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his incarnations. So when the audience is eager, then the speaker also gets enthusiasm to speak. And there are so many sages sitting there. All are equally eager. It's such a huge 88,000 Zoom audience. I think Zoom would have broken down. For 88,000, Zoom would not work. They would require Google Meet or something else. 88,000. And they are there directly present offline. That was offline class by Sudha Goswami speaking to all the, and they were all very eager to hear, and they were not in a hurry. किधर जाना है अभी? So please, अभी 1 घंटा है, 1 घंटे में जितना कर सकते हैं आप. So they were damn sure that you please sit, and we want to hear. Just we have left everything, and we are here to hear you speak. So don't think that we have to go somewhere and you have to wind up or like that. So they are expressing their eagerness to hear. So Prabhupada is saying that here the qualification for the katha is there that the speaker should be in the line disciplic succession, and the audience should be the audience has to be very eager to hear, very sincere and eager to hear. So that is the, so Prabhupada writes at one place, the medicine for the mad mind is hearing. The medicine for the mad mind is what? Hearing. So we should hear as much as possible, because only hearing will, by the hearing will there will be transformation in the heart. As we hear more and more and more sincerely, attentively, there will be transformation. So, yeah, so Sudama Prabhu, when he had recently come, he was telling, when we hear, then we go near to our dear, and then there remains no fear. Sudama Prabhu, you are there, you heard the class, Sudama Prabhu's class. You are saying that when you hear, then you go near to your dear. Who is the deer? Lord. Deer. Go near to the deer, then there remains no fear. So, and in all this, what is the common thing? In all these words is
Ear.
ear.
Yeah.
Ear. The ear is very important. So that's why all these sages, they are very eager for hearing about Lord Krishna's pastimes, and they are asking these questions so that Suta Goswami speaks only about this. So they don't want to hear anything about anything else. And when even when Suta Goswami, when he speaks about that that Kali personified beating the cow, so that time they immediately stop him and they say, "Is it connected to Krishna Katha?" Or means, so if it is connected, then only please tell. This is something we never heard, that some person, Shudra, addressed as Shudra, and he's beating the bull and he has cut the 3 legs. And does it had anything to do with our Krishna Katha? If it is a connection, then only speak like that. So they are very sure that they want to hear only Krishna Katha. The 4 types of hearer we had discussed. You remember? The first one is like whom?
First is Chatak.
Upward.
Chatak. So these are all like that. You only want to hear, they are expressing the eagerness. So we are eager to know about Lord Krishna, who appears for the good and the upliftment, Kshemaya and Bhavaya of the Jivas. So they are expressing that we want to hear. So please continue speaking. Yeah. Okay. 14th verse. This describes the glory of the holy name. Apanna samsritim ghoram
Apanah
Ghora
vivasho
Yannama
Yanna Vivasho Gunavarnam
tata sad
Tata
Sadyo Yamuchate
Advibheti bhayam.
Yadvite Swayam Bhayayam.
Sachi Sundari Mataji.
Translation: living beings who are entangled in the complicated meshes of birth and death can be freed immediately by even unconsciously chanting the holy name of Krishna, which is feared by fear personified. Purport: Vasudev or Lord Krishna, the absolute personality of Godhead, is the supreme controller of everything. There is no one in creation who is not afraid of the rage of the Almighty. Great asuras like Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, Kamsa, and others who were very powerful living entities were all killed by the personality of Godhead. And the Almighty Vasudeva has empowered his name with the powers of his personal self. Everything is related to him and everything has its identity in him. It is stated herein that the name of Krishna is feared even by fear personified. This indicates that the name of Krishna is non-different from Krishna. Therefore, the name of Krishna is as powerful as Lord Krishna himself. There is no difference at all. Anyone, therefore, can take advantage of the holy names of Lord Sri Krishna even in the midst of greatest dangers. The transcendental name of Krishna, even though uttered unconsciously or by force of circumstances, can help one obtain freedom from the hurdle of birth and death.
See, so they are now glorifying the holy name, the holy katha and the holy name of Krishna. So when one actually takes the holy name of Lord, then even the fear personified is afraid of that holy name. So he is also stays away from somebody who is chanting the holy name. So one can be immediately freed. Apanna samsitam ghoram yan nama vishnu tata sadhyo. Sadhyo is immediately. He becomes liberated. Yad vibheti swayam bhayam. So the holy name is very powerful. And in Kali Yuga especially, it is said that this is the process. Krite yadhyayato Vishnu tretayam yajato makai dvapare pare charyayam kalautad harikirtanam. So in Harikirtanam is the process for Kali Yuga. And the holy name and Lord Krishna, they are non-different. So, Nama Chintamani Krishna, Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha, Purna Shuddho Nityamukto, Abhinnatva Nama Namino. Abhinnatva Nama Namino means there is no difference between the name and the person whose name is. So generally, in normal circumstances, there is difference. But for this, whenever we chant Hare Krishna, Lord is personally present directly there. So, so one of our acharyas, he gives the nice explanation that how when in this Ramayana, just a minute. Yeah. So in Ramayana, this story comes of Shabri. So Shabri, how when Lord Ram goes to that place, Pampa Sarovar. So, so when Lord goes, that time Shabri brings that bear and we say, the story we know. And what Shabri does is, she eats it half and then gives to the Lord, as we heard. So we say that Are jhoote bear khilaye Shabri ne, and Lakshman was not taking, and only Lord Ram was taking. But then our acharyas explain very nice explanation that they say how Shabri didn't give jhoote bear to Lord Ram. They are not jhoote. How when Shabri was actually Shabri was such a great devotee, she would always chant the holy names of Lord Ram. Always continuously on her tongue, the holy name was there. So when Lord Ram and Lakshman came and they were sitting, so she was chanting continuously. So whenever she would be chanting, and as we say, Abhinnatva Nama Namino, Lord personally actually comes on the tongue. And what to speak of such a great devotee like Shabri? She chanting. So Lord personally was there on her tongue always, and she was chanting. So whenever she would take the bear and put in the mouth, Lord on the tongue, he was tasting. And that which was tasted by the Lord, then she was giving to the Lord. So then our Acharya says that how Shabri didn't make the bear juta. So they were tasted by the Lord only, who was there on the tongue and who was there in the front also. So juta on there, Bhagwan taste kar rahe the, and then was given, and then Lord was tasting. So some of the acharyas give like that explanation. But anyway, wherever there is names of Lord chanted, Lord is present personally. So then the sages are saying that how this holy name is so powerful. So you please go on chanting the glories of the Lord, and do not fear that anything else has to be done. So this is the essence. You keep on speaking Krishna Katha, and we are here to eager to hear from you, and you continue. We are happy like that. So they are giving enthusiasm to the speaker. So please speak. We are ready. We are here to hear. So actually in the villages also, people have great respect for Bhagavad Katha and the speaker. And they, at one place, Radha Govind Maharaj was speaking in a village he had gone, and there was big Bhagavad Katha arranged. And many thousands of people had come. And it started in the morning. And when it started, it went on for long hours, like 2, 3, 4 hours. And then almost it was like afternoon time. And then Maharaj asked after the Katha that, is there any question? Anybody has any question? One person raised a hand and he said in that, Gao ki bhasha, Bhojpuri, like that, was asking ki, ये मेरा प्रश्न ऐसा है कि ये कथा कब खत्म होगी? Because he was sincerely asking, because he was one of the farmers and he was going to his farm for farming. And he saw that so many people had gathered and something is going on. So he went there, thought कुछ कथा चल रही और कथा में बैठते थोड़ी देर सुन के जाते 10-15 मिनट अच्छा है कथा साधु कथा कर रहे हैं एंड देन आफ्टर सम टाइम 15-20 मिनट के बाद सुन के थोड़ा जाते हैं फिर खेत में काम के लिए बट द कथा वेंट फॉर आवर्स टुगेदर एंड in villagers they have faith that once you sit in the katha you cannot get up and go. That is considered an offense to the katha. So out of fear you are sitting there. तो उसका जो काम के लिए जाना था so he couldn't go. He thought अरे कब जाओ he couldn't get up. And then when Maharaj asked any question he said कथा कब खत्म होगा? महाराज बोले अब खत्म होगा, चिंता मत करो, आपने प्रश्न पूछा है ना, अब मैं खत्म करता हूँ, इधर ही कथा खत्म हो गया. So like that people they have great respect for the katha. When katha is going on, they will not get up, And Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj also tells that actually when the katha starts, one should not go in between, generally, ideally. So that is so these sages are saying, we have all time and you are also here. So please speak continuously of the Lord's glory, holy name, and we want to hear, we are eager to hear. So they are giving enthusiasm to the speaker that please speak Krishna Katha elaborately. So this is the glory of the audience. The audience is also equally qualified here. And the speaker, of course, is highly qualified. He has got mercy from Vyasdev and he is heard personally from Shukdev Goswami. Now 15th verse. Yat pada samshaya sutta
Yatpadupansapansasya
Munaya prashamayana
Munaya prashamayana
Sadhya Pranti Upashrishta
Sadhya punasuprishrashta
Svadhuni Apo Anusevaya.
Swadhanu yapu sevaya.
Sorry, it's not Swardhuni, it's Swaradhuni. Okay, Swaradhuni is of the sacred Ganges. Okay, Sandeep Sambhus Prabhu.
O Sutta, those great sages who have completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord can at once sanctify those who come in touch with them, whereas the water of the Gangas can sanctify only after prolonged use. Purport. Pure devotees of the Lord are more powerful than the water of sacred river Ganga. One can derive spiritual benefits out of prolonged use of the Ganga's water, but one can sanctify it at once by the mercy of pure devotee of the Lord. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that any person, regardless of birth, as Shudra, woman, or merchant, can take shelter of lotus feet of the Lord, and by so doing can return to the Godhead. To take shelter of lotus feet of the Lord means to take shelter of the pure devotees. The pure devotees whose only business is serving one honored by the name of Prabhupada and Vishnupada, which indicates such devotees to be representative of the lotus feet of the Lord. Anyone, therefore, who takes the shelter of the lotus feet of pure devotee by accepting the pure devotee as his spiritual master can be at once purified. Such devotees of the Lord are honored equally with the Lord because they are engaged in the most confidential service of the Lord. For they deliver the material world and fallen soul whom the Lord wants to return home back to Godhead. Such pure devotees are better known as wise lords according to revealed scriptures. The sincere disciple of the pure devotee considers the spiritual master equal to the Lord, but always consider himself to be a humble servant of the Lord. This is pure devotion path.
You can read the last statement again, Prabhupada.
The sincere disciple of the pure devotee considers the spiritual master equal to the Lord, but always consider himself to be a humble servant of the Lord. This is the pure devotion path.
You are reading from the book?
Yes.
Okay. So they have some changes in the Veda base. You see, the sincere disciples of a pure devotee consider him equal with the Lord. Okay, this is clear. But the pure devotee always considers himself to be a humble servant of the Lord. It has to be like this. So you read again the last statement.
The sincere disciples of the pure devotee considers spiritual master considers the spiritual master equals to the Lord, but always himself to be a humble servant of the Lord. This is the pure devotion.
Actually, here it is more correct. So if you see Veda base, here means that a sincere disciples consider a pure devotee or a spiritual master to be equal to Lord, but that spiritual master or that pure devotee, he himself consider himself as the humble servant of the Lord. It is like that. Are you getting, no? Slight difference is there. These are the corrections made in Veda base, online Veda base, and like that. So some grammatical mistakes and like that. So there it seems that the disciple, he considers spiritual master as equal to Lord, but consider himself as the servant of servant. That is natural. He will consider himself servant only. But that pure devotee himself, he never considered himself to be equal with the Lord. He considered himself as a servant. So that is the difference. Of course, there is small difference. So here a devotee versus Ganges. What is the difference? So when you take bath in river Ganga, so by that you have to take bath for long time. By that your sinful reactions will be destroyed. But your sinful propensities may not be destroyed. But if you associate with a devotee, so when you associate with a devotee, by the association of devotee, the effect will be fast also, and not only sinful reaction, but the sinful propensities are also destroyed. So that is the advantage of associating with a devotee. Gangara Parasha Pashyate Pavan, that is there, na? Tomar, that Vaishnava song is there. So if even if one is touched by the Ganga, Pashyate Pavan means one will become pure after a long time, purified. But when you take darshan of a pure devotee, immediately you get purified. So the effect is like I gave the example I think previously. If you have some fever or something, and you take a tablet, and by that tablet you after some time you get the effect, but more faster than the tablet. What is there? Very intense fever, and then not a quick effect. Then what is faster than the tablet?
Injection.
Injection. The injection in 5 minutes, you will get the effect immediately. Sadhyo. So it's like that. Devotees, association of devotee, hearing from them. So when you are in some difficulty, some distress, anxiety, then you may read. So you may even it is considered that even if you are like reading something and it may give effect after some time. But when you talk to some devotee, associate with some devotee, and you hear from him, immediately you feel relieved. How many of you experience that you have some anxiety, some depression, something troubling you, and you go to some devotee and talk with them, and then he tells some words, and then you feel immediately relieved. The effect is immediate. I mean, here experience. Is it not? It's like injection. The association of devotee is like injection. And taking bath in Ganga and reading all the scriptures and finding the solution, it is like taking the tablet, which will affect after a long time. So when the problem is severe, hear from some Vaishnava. Hearing gives immediate effect. You will come out of that. So devotees versus Ganges. The effect is, first thing is prolonged time. It will affect after prolonged time. And second thing, even the sinful proclivities also will get purified by associating with a devotee, which will not get with taking bath in Ganga. That's two effects are there. Okay. Ko va bhagavatastasya
को वा भागवतस्य
ko va bhagavatastasya
Ko va bhagavatastasya
Tasya
shloke karma
karmana
Sudhi kamo nuyad Yasha kali malapaham
Yasha Kalimalapaham.
Charanarvinda Prabhu.
Translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Who is there desiring deliverance from the vices of age of quarrel, who is not willing to hear the virtuous glories of the Lord? Purport. The age of Kali is the most condemned age due to its quarrelsome features. Kali Yuga is so saturated with vicious habits that there is a great fight at the slightest misunderstanding. Those who are engaged in the pure devotional service of the Lord, who are without any desire for self-aggrandizement and who are freed from the effects of fruitive actions and dry philosophical speculations, are capable of getting out of the estrangements of this complicated age. The leaders of the people are very much anxious to live in peace and friendship, but they have no information of the simple method of hearing the glories of the Lord. On the contrary, such leaders are opposed to the propagation of glories of the Lord. In other words, the foolish leaders want to completely deny the existence of Lord. In the name of secular state, such leaders are enacting various plans every year, but by the insurmountable intricacies of material nature of Lord, all these plans for progress are being constantly frustrated. They have no eyes to see that their attempts at peace and friendship are failing. But here is the hint to get over the hurdle. If we want actual peace, we must open the road to understanding of Supreme Lord Krishna and glorify him for his virtuous activities as they are depicted in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam.
So they are saying that who is desiring deliverance from Kali Yuga, from this material world, such person, who is such a foolish person who desires deliverance but is not willing to hear the glories of Lord? He is the most foolish person. If he wants deliverance from this world, from this Kali Yuga, then he must hear the glories of the Lord. There is no other solution. So actually, that is the solution. Hearing the glories of Lord, reading Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, chanting the holy names. Actually, this is the solution for all the problems in Kali Yuga. So, if you see, the problems in Kali Yuga are so complicated, and people are trying to find some or the other solutions, how actually to get out of such a complicated mess which we have landed in. But they don't know that the solution is very simple. That is on the spiritual platform. As Einstein said, you cannot find the solution on the same level as the problem. You cannot have the solution on the same level as the problem. The solution has to be on the higher level than the problem. And we see that, as Prahlad Maharaj says, the solution of a problem is worse than the problem itself. That happens, no? Many times. So we try to find some solution, and then the solution is actually more dangerous than the problem itself. So there is one, it's called a cobra effect. You have heard about cobra effect? It's quite common term. Not heard? So there is one story of the cobra effect to illustrate this point. How the solution? Huh? Somebody speaking? So this what happened during Britishers' time in New Delhi? There was a problem of cobras. Too many cobras, say snakes. So there are many cobras, and people were troubled by that in New Delhi. So then the Britishers thought how to curtail this problem. What is the solution for this problem? So they thought of a brilliant idea, and then they announced that whoever brings a dead cobra to the government, he will get a big reward. So they thought, by this what will happen? The cobra problem will be solved. छाया देशपांडे माता जी, आपका माइक ऑन है. हरे कृष्णा. हाय माता जी. छाया देशपांडे माता जी. Maybe she is not visible. Hare Krishna. Okay, I will only minute. Okay. So then what happened? But then what happened? That people, what they did, where they started taming cobras. They started keeping many cobras because they started producing cobras. That is, they started rearing. Rearing means they started keeping cobras and in the house, and they were generating more cobras. In the snakes, they are producing more snakes, so that one they kill, and then they will get reward. Oh, Mataji, Chaya Deshpande Mataji, Chaya Mataji, आपका mic mute कर दीजिए, mic.
Prabhuji, host can mute anyone.
No, but I am muted. Again, she unmuted.
Okay.
ये है माता जी. हरे कृष्णा. अभी म्यूट कर रहा हूं मैं, फिर से अनम्यूट मत करना. हाँ, अभी म्यूट हो गया. तो अभी स्ट्रिक्टली अभी मैं नाम लिखने वाला हूँ सबके यहाँ. जो भी ऐसा बीच में से अनम्यूट करेगा. It takes so much time in between. So then what happened? The people started rearing. So they started taming the snakes. And then the government came to know that the quantity, means the number of snakes have increased. Right? The solution tha ki we wanted to decrease, but the number is increasing all the more and more. So then they said, no, this scheme is cancelled. This scheme is cancelled. Nobody will get any reward. So when they announced like that, then people what they did, whatever cobras they had in their houses where they were taming, they released inside Delhi. And then the amount of cobras increased 10 times. So this is called cobra effect. Means one wants to find the solution for a problem, but the solution becomes more dangerous than the problem itself. Any co-host, I'll take care of it. Asha, you are already co-host, na Anuj Prabhu? No.
I got disconnected in between, so I lost that.
But you actually tell devotees later that they should learn this at least. I'm making you co-host. Now you're co-host? Yeah.
No, Prabhuji, you
Oh.
made Anand Prabhu minister.
I am also not very good in क्या करना है अभी उनको remove co-host permission. Anuj Goyal. Okay. Where is make co-host? Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji.
But you actually later circulate your WhatsApp group, na? In that you message everybody about this.
Yes, Prabhuji.
In every Zoom class, actually many times happens. They would just unmute and they do their own activities. Okay, anyway. So the point is Prabhupada is saying here that the only solution for all the problems in Kali Yuga is actually Srimad Bhagavatam. And when he hears Srimad Bhagavatam, reads Bhagavatam and preaches Bhagavatam, applies in his life Srimad Bhagavatam, so many problems can be solved very easily. So one who wants to get out of this age of power and hypocrisy, that Kali Yuga, has to hear the glories of Lord from Srimad Bhagavatam. There is no other way, no other way, no other way. The solution, as Bhaktivedanta Thakur also said when Prabhupada met first time, that the only problem in this world is, what is the only problem in this world? When Bhaktivedanta Thakur first time he met,
Lack of Krishna consciousness.
Lack of Krishna consciousness. That is the only problem. No, but we have problem of pollution, we have problem of forest, and we have problem of environment, and that for green, it's become warmer, and there was only layer and this and that. No, they are not problems. Only problem is lack of Krishna. When one becomes Krishna conscious, then automatically so many other problems will get solved. So that conviction he had, Bhaktivedanta Thakur. And our Prabhupada was arguing, no, the current problem is we are under British subjugation. We need freedom. That is the real problem. He said that is not the real problem at all. Today British are ruling, tomorrow somebody else will rule. The politicians may change, but the politics will remain the same. So it was such a forceful presentation by Bhaktivedanta Thakur that Prabhupada said, first time in my life, I was defeated. And he was very happy to be defeated. And if you see, Prabhupada was not very easily defeated by anybody. Even if you see, when you would argue with professors and like that, he had very sharp logic, Prabhupada. And same logic he had that time. But Bhaktivedanta Thakur's logic was 10 times more than Prabhupada. He was more heavy and more convinced. What you are saying, the freedom and the subjugation is the main problem now. It is not at all the problem. Only Krishna consciousness is an emergency. It cannot wait for freedom. He said like that, it was a force that Prabhupada saw. He is speaking the truth. Prabhupada accepted defeat. Otherwise, Prabhupada was also not, he wouldn't give up easily. But in front of Bhaktivedanta, he gave. So I was very happy. So anyway, the thing is, Krishna consciousness is the solution for all the problems. And who, such a fool, is there who wants to get out of these problems and who doesn't want to hear the glory of it? He is only fool. Like that is said in this verse. Actually, people's hearts, they can get transformed by this process. There is no other method by which actually people's heart can get transformed. This is practical way of seeing, practical. The greatest of the such people who were so degraded, they got transformed. Actually, in the United States, all the police department, the welfare department, and the government were frustrated with hippies. These hippies, they were so adamant. They are not ready to change on. And it was only by the process of Krishna consciousness that they could change such a drastically. That was no less than a magic. And actually, once Prabhupada was challenged by this Dr. Radhakrishna, when Prabhupada actually met him, when he was in India before taking sannyas, when he had gone to seek some help. So that time Radhakrishna actually challenged Prabhupada, "Arey, what you are this Hare Krishna and what this Bhagavatam will do? What practical thing you can do for the betterment of the society? Do something practical by chanting Hare Krishna and by this Bhagavatam. What good can you bring in the society? Kuch to practical karo, practical." People always say, do something practical for the society. You Hare Krishna, you just don't have anything else to do. You just chant Hare Krishna, you hear Bhagavatam and you just do something tangible for the society. So Prabhupada said, I challenge you. He challenged the president only. He said, I give a challenge. You give me facility and you give me time. And I will prove that this Hare Krishna is the most practical. It can bring change and transformation in the lives of people. And he said to Radhakrishnan that, give me one jail. And in the jail, I will preach to the prisoners who are hard-core poor prisoners. And give me facility for prasadam distribution. Give me facility for conducting chanting and Bhagavad Gita courses. Give me 2 months. He said, okay, sure, Dedi. And he gave all the facilities to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada conducted Harinam, Bhagavad Gita classes and Prasadam distribution in, I think, Agra jail for 2 months. And at the end of 2 months, the jail keepers, they wrote a letter to the president. And they said, we can see tangible difference in the behavior of these prisoners, which we never saw in our whole life, by these 2 months of this process of Hare Krishna. And that time Radhakrishna could understand, yes, this is something, So Prabhupada actually challenged and showed it practically. And we can see actually, otherwise no other process can bring change of one's consciousness. One can bring change of one's features, external feature. One can change one's lifestyle also. But to change consciousness is not possible by any other process. It is possible only by the process of Krishna consciousness. So we have to be convinced about this. So here also Prabhupada is writing same thing, that this Bhagavatam is the solution. If we want to bring peace and friendship, then this is the process. Prabhupada is writing. Okay, 17. Now the 4th question comes here. Tasya karmani udarani
Yasya karmani udarani
parigitani suribhi
Parigitani
suribhi
tuhina shraddhananam Leelaya dadhatah kala.
Leelaya dadatha kala.
Tulsi Priya Mataji.
His transcendental acts are magnificent and gracious, and great learned sages like Narad sing of them. Please therefore speak to us who are eager to hear about the adventures he performed in his various incarnations. Purport. The personality of Godhead is never inactive, as some less intelligent person suggests. His works are magnificent and magnanimous. His creations, both material and spiritual, are all wonderful and contain all variedness. They are described nicely by such liberated souls as Srila Narad, Vyas, Valmiki, Deva, Asista, Madhav, Sri Chaitanya, Ramanuja, Vishnu Swami, Nimbarkar, Sridhar, Vishwanath, Baladev, Bhaktivedanta, Siddhanta, Saraswati, and many other learned and self-realized souls. These creations, both material and spiritual, are full of opulence, beauty, and knowledge. But the spiritual realm is more magnificent due to its being full of knowledge, bliss, and eternity. The material creations are manifested for some time as perverted shadows of the spiritual kingdom and can be linked as to cinemas. They attract people of less intelligent caliber who are attracted by false things. Such foolish men have no information of the reality, and they take it for granted that the false material manifestation is the all in all. But more intelligent man, guided by sages like Vyasa and Narad, know that the eternal kingdom of God is more delightful, larger, and eternally full of bliss and knowledge. Those who are not conversant with the activities of the Lord and his transcendental realm are sometimes favored by the Lord in his adventures as incarnations, wherein he displays the eternal bliss of his association in the transcendental realm. By such activities, he attracts the conditioned souls of the material world. Some of these conditioned souls are engaged in false enjoyment of material senses, and others in simply negating their real life in spiritual world. These less intelligent persons are known as karmis or fruitive workers, and gyanis or tri-mental speculators. But above these two classes of man is the transcendentalist known as sattvita or the devotee, who is busy neither with rampant material activity nor with material speculation. He is engaged in the positive service of the Lord, and thereby he derives the highest spiritual benefit unknown to the karmis and gyanis. As the supreme controller of both the material and spiritual worlds, the Lord has different incarnations of unlimited categories. Incarnation like Brahma, Rudra, Manu, Prithu, and Vyas are his material qualitative incarnations. But his incarnations like Ram, Narasimha, Vara, and Vaman are his transcendental incarnations. Lord Shri Krishna is the fountainhead of all incarnation, and he is therefore the cause of all causes.
So here, the fourth question. This is the fourth question. So please describe Lord's various incarnations. And now Srila Jiva Goswami tells, this is particularly about Purusha Avataras. Lord's Purusha Avataras. So as we know, there are 6 types of incarnation avatars. So one is Purusha Avatar, one is Lila Avatar, one is Manvantara Avatar, one is Shaktavesh Avatar, one is Yuga Avatar, and 6th is Guna Avatar. These are the 6 incarnations, types of incarnation of the Lord. And these Purusha Avatars are specifically mentioned here, this Jiva Goswami tells, because there is a similar question in next verse also. Please describe about Lord's incarnation. So that describes about Lord's Lila Avatars. So that is the 5th question. So here, please describe various Purusha Avataras. Which are the Purusha Avataras of the Lord? Which are the Purusha Avatars?
Garbhodakshaya Vishnu.
Karunadakshayi, Garbhodakshaya, and Kshirodakshayi. These are the Purusha Avatars. So he is specifically inquiring about the process of creation, and how the creation takes place, how Karunadakshayi Vishnu, when he exhales, all the universes come out, and in each universe, again he expands as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and within that each universe, in every atom and in the heart of everybody, there is Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. So like that he expands, and how he creates. So Lord Krishna doesn't directly interact with the material nature. He does through the Vishnu incarnation, the Purusha Avatar. And the Purushottam avatar also they don't do directly. They do through the agency of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva manages. So it's like the owner, the CEO, and the MD. That's how the hierarchy in company. Na? The owner, he doesn't deal directly. He is carefree. He roams here and there. He gives the management to the CEO. And the CEO also doesn't manage directly. He gives to the managing director, who actually oversees. So the owner is like whom? Compared to
Krishna.
Krishna. And the CEO, CEO compared to
Avatar.
Purusha Avatar. And the MD compared to
Lord Brahma.
Lord
or
Shiva.
Lord
Lord
Shiva.
Shiva. Lord Shiva directly is Mahesh Dham. So it's Sarveshwar, Parameshwar, and Maheshwar. So who is Sarveshwar?
Krishna.
Who is Parameshwar?
Brahma.
I am explaining you, na? There's 3 stages.
Purusha avatar.
Yeah. Please understand the 3 things. The CEO, the MD, Krishna, Purusha avatars, the Vishnu, and Shiva. Sarveshwar, Parameshwar, Mahesh. Huh? Is it difficult to understand? From where Brahma came?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, how Shiva is managing the
Yeah, because he is Mahesh Dham. This is called as Mahesh Dham, material world. So he along with Durga Devi, they are managing this. So when actually Lord Vishnu sees at Durga and impregnates her with all the jivas, that glance is called Shambhu. And they are both who, that's what Shivlinga is, no? So they both unite and create so many living entities. So Lord Vishnu also doesn't directly not involved in the creation process. So Lord Shiva is one who is like the MD. You're getting that? So Purusha Avatara. So here the question is about Purusha Avatara. Please tell us about the Purusha Avataras. Yeah. And the next question is also similar. So that Jiva Goswami says is about Lila Avataras. That is 18th question, 18th verse. Athakya hi harer dhiman.
Atakyahi Hare Dhiman.
Avatara katha shubha.
Avatara
Avatar.
Shubha.
Leela vidadha svairam.
Leela Vidadha Svairam.
Ishwarasyaatmayaya.
Ishwarasya
Well, Lord, Narsimha Hamre Prabhu. Yes.
Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Your video is
Translation.
not on, I think, huh? Video?
Yeah, there is network issue. So actually, please narrate to us the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Godhead's multi-incarnations. Such auspicious adventures and pastimes of the Lord, the Supreme Controller, are performed by His internal powers. Purport. For the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the material worlds, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself appears in many thousands of forms of incarnation, and the specific adventures found in those transcendental forms are all auspicious. Both those who are present during such activities and those who hear the transcendental narrations of such activities are benefited.
So this now appears like similar questions. Huh? He's also speaking about, please tell about the incarnations, Lord's multifarious. But then Jiva Goswami differentiate. This speaks about the Leela Avatara, Purusha Avatara and Leela. Previous question was about Purusha Avatara and this question of Leela Avatara. So this is the fifth question. So what was the first question? You should try. Remember the first, second, third, fourth, fifth.
First question is in 9 verse, what is the absolute and ultimate good for the people in general?
Second question, Ramkishore Bro.
Explain the essence of all scriptures.
What is the essence of all scripture? It's third, Suryakant Krishna Bro.
Why did the Lord appear in the womb of Devaki as the son of Vasudeva?
That is third. Why does Lord appears? The fourth, Madan Mohan Bro.
What are the Purusha avatars?
What are the activities Purusha Avatara did? Please describe. Yeah. And then fifth, Shubha Lakshmana.
Please describe the Leela Avataras of the Lord.
So 5 are over. So now again they glorify the process of hearing. They are really eager to hear. In between the two questions, they will speak some verses about. So Lord's Leela Avatar. Lord's Leela Avatar is very wonderful, where he comes and does various pastimes. So like Lord Ram, like that. So they perform pastimes. That's their only job. Do pastime and attract the conditioned living entities. But different avatars, they have specific purposes. Like that. So now 19, they again speak that we want to hear. Again, they glorify the process of hearing. Vayam tu na vitripyama.
Tu na vitrupyama.
Tamashloka vikrame.
Uttama shloka vikrame.
Achrunavatam rasagyanam.
Yashunavatam rasajnanam.
Swadu swadu pade pade.
Swadu swadu pade pade.
Okay. Gopika Sundari Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Translation. We never tire of hearing the transcendental pastimes of the personality of Godhead, who is glorified by the hymns and prayers. Those who have developed a taste for transcendental relationships with him relish hearing of his pastimes at every moment. Purport. There is a great difference between mundane stories, frictions, or histories, and the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. The histories of the whole universe contain the reference to the pastimes of the incarnation of the Lord. The Ramayana, the Mahabharata, and the Puranas are the histories of bygone ages recorded in the connection with the pastimes of the incarnations of the Lord, and therefore remain fresh even after repeated readings. For example, anyone may read Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam repeatedly throughout his whole life and yet find in them new light of information. Mundane news is static, whereas the transcendental news is dynamic, in as much as the spirit is dynamic and the matter is static. Those who have developed a taste for understanding the transcendental subject matter are never tired of hearing such narration. One is quickly by mundane activities, but no one is
Your voice is breaking.
mundane. Yes, Prabhuji?
Voice is breaking in between.
You couldn't hear, Prabhuji?
You continue, but it's breaking in between.
Okay. Mundane literature is in the mode of darkness or ignorance, whereas transcendental literature is quite different. Transcendental literature is above the mode of darkness, and its light becomes more luminous with progressive reading and realization of the transcendental subject matter. The so-called liberated persons are never satisfied by the repetition of the words Aham Brahmasmi. Such artificial realization of Brahman becomes innate, and so to relish such pleasure, they turn to the narration of the Srimad Bhagavatam.
Those who are not so fortunate turn to and worldly philanthropy. This means the Mayavada philosophy is mundane, whereas the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam is transcendental. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So here they are saying that we are never tired of hearing of Krishna Katha. So don't think we are becoming tired and now we need a break. So we are never satiated. So Vayam tu na vittipyamaha uttama shloka vikrame. Yasnotam sagyana swadu swadu parevare. We are getting at every step great nectar. As we see, Parikshit Maharaj also was fully absorbed and he did eat and drink for 7 days, 7 nights because he was getting such great taste from Srimad Bhagavatam. And similarly, sages of Naimisha are also explaining that we are never satiated. By hearing Bhagavatam, one is satisfied but never satiated. So there is difference. So when one hears Bhagavatam, the glories of the Lord, one never becomes satiated, but one becomes fully satisfied. But hearing the mundane literatures, one becomes fully satiated, but never satisfied. That is the difference between the mundane literature and the transcendental literature of Srimad Bhagavatam. It gives full satisfaction, but no satiation. Mundane literature gives satiation, but no satisfaction. The Prabhupada is writing about the news. The mundane news, people read newspaper and they throw it away. If somebody gives you, this is newspaper, I am giving you newspaper free. लेकिन ये 10 दिन पहले का newspaper है, चलेगा? You say, what is use? Throw it away. I don't want for free also. 10 दिन पहले के news क्या करना है? But Bhagavatam is not like that. 5,000 years back, it was written, and still we relish Bhagavatam again and again, and so that is transcendental literature. It has so news generally what so the news, the definition of news, one person was telling. News means same things happening to new people. That is news. Same old things happening to new people. What you read in news? ये बस का accident हो गया, ये गाड़ी गिर गया, this many people died, then this politician got elected, then these people did strike, then in the court this case is going on against this, और ये लोगों ने इस व्यक्ति का खून कर दिया. So this is going on, same things are there, only the people change. The events remain same, but the people change. The same old things happening to new people is called news. There is nothing new in that. Only the name is given news. You know what is the long form of news? NEWS. Don't know? Yes? Lakshmi Mataji.
Northeast, west, south.
What is happening in north, east, west, south? What is happening? Same old things happening, only to new people. So what is there great in that? But Srimad Bhagavatam, maybe same things are described, but it has newer and newer rasa. Whenever you read again and again, again and again, again and again, you never become tired. So Suta Goswami didn't say, "Arey, udhar suna 7 दिन 7 रात मैंने Parikshit Maharaj के समय." Again, I cannot tell all that same. I have to repeat, to you. Did he say like that? Same now, again that all 12 candles and again that 18,000 verses you have to repeat. One will get bored, na? If it is a mundane literature. फिर से वो वही बोलना है. well, we'll get tired. So because it's transcendental literature, you get newer and newer and newer. So Prabhupada himself would say that I am reading my own books. Which is the author who would read his own books? When an author writes his book, he is tired because he has read already so many times, edited, and he doesn't read his book again. But Prabhupada says, these books are not written by me. That's why I am reading. He would read Bhagavatam, he would read Krishna book, like that. So one never gets satiated, but one becomes fully satisfied by this transcendental literature, Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, we'll complete the chapter. 2, 3 more verses are there. Kritavan kila karmani saharamena keshava
Sahagnamena Keshava
timartyani bhagavan
Atimatyani Bhagavan
Budha kapata manusha.
Manusha.
We'll not now read the purports. We'll just go to a translation. Lord Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, along with Balram, played like a human being, and so masked, he performed many superhuman acts. Oh, you read the translation from the book. Yes, okay, just a minute. Who will read? Okay, Ramkishore, you read translation only from the book. Is there? Ramkishore is not there.
It is same.
Prabhuji, he's not here. He's just listening. He is on way to his preaching program. Yes,
Okay. Yeah, I will ask somebody. He Mang Keshav Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Translation. Lord Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, along with Balrama, played like a human being, and so masked, he performed many superhuman acts.
So here, it is said that how Lord Krishna, along with Balram, played like a human being, Guda Kapata Manush, and performed many superhuman acts, Ati Martyani. So they are describing Lord Krishna, that how he came as a human being, but he is not human being. Only fools, they think that they derived Lord as human being. But he came in human being. Why? Because then we get attracted to somebody who has come like that. We don't feel so much attraction for the Matsya avatar or Vara avatar or Nrsimha avatar as much as we feel attraction for somebody who looks like us, who is like us. So that's why Lord came as a human being. But we should not consider him as a human being. When Sri Krishna and Balram came, their pastimes are the most attractive. And that's what in the 10th canto beginning, 9th canto end, Parikshit Maharaj says, now I have heard about all the incarnations. I want to hear about pastimes exclusively about Lord Krishna. Then the 10th canto begins there. So he comes as a human being, but he performs superhuman acts. That's given. So 21. Kalim agatam agyaya.
Kalim
Kshetrasmin Vaishnave Vayam Asina Dirgha Satrena Kathayam Sakshana Hare. Knowing well that the age of Kali has already begun, we are assembled here in this holy place to hear at great length the transcendental message of Godhead, and in this way perform sacrifice. So they are giving the background because the age of Kali has begun already. We are assembled here to hear at great length the transcendental message of Godhead, and this way perform sacrifice. Because they knew now the inauspicious time is coming. The Kali Yuga has begun. So to counteract that, we want to just hear Srimad Bhagavatam, and we don't want to get affected by the this progress of Kali Yuga. We assembled on the pretext of prolonged sacrifice only to hear at the grade. So they are saying we assembled here to do the sacrifice, but actually our motive for coming here is to hear Krishna Katha. So pretext, just as a pretext for that was एक बहाना था वो sacrifice करना, लेकिन actually we want to hear. That's why we have come here. So to counteract the effects of Kali, they have come together to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. So similarly, the Gayatri also one does, that is done at the Sandhya, because Sandhya is considered inauspicious, changing of the path of the sun. So Sandhya is like 2 periods changing. So that is considered inauspicious. To counteract that inauspiciousness, Gayatri is done. So similarly here, the Kali Yuga has been begun. Now the change from Dwapar to Kali Yuga. So to counteract that, they have come under pretext of sacrifice to hear basically Srimad Bhagavatam. So they are telling to the Srila Goswami. 22nd. Tvamna sandarshito dhatra dustaram nistiteshatam kalim sattva haram pumsam karnadhara ivarnavam. We think that we have met your goodness by the will of providence, just so that we may accept you as captain of the ship for those who desire to cross the difficult ocean of Kali, which deteriorates all the good qualities of a human being. So they are saying that we want you to accept as the captain of our ship. And to cross the ocean of Kali, we deteriorate all good qualities of human being. So they are saying that it is only by the good fortune that we have met. So they are considering themselves very fortunate that they have got the association of the Mahan Sut Goswami, who has heard directly from Shukdev Goswami, and he is here to speak. So this is a glorification of the speaker, so that the speaker feels confident that the audience has great respect and they are very eager to hear. That's why they are actually speaking this, the audience. And now, on the 6th question, they will speak. That is the last verse. This is the 6th question. Bruhi Yogeshware Krishne. Brahmane Dharma Varmani. Swam Rashtam Adhunopete. Dharmakam Sharanam Gataha. Since Sri Krishna, the absolute truth, the master of all mystic powers, has departed for his own abode, please tell us to whom the religious principles have now gone for shelter. So now Krishna has gone back. Kali Yuga started means Krishna has gone back already. So when Krishna went back, Kali Yuga started. So where all religious principles have taken shelter now? What is the hope now? If Krishna has gone, has he left something of himself so that we can take shelter of that and we can also cross over this ocean? So wo kya hai? So for that, the famous shloka which is there, Krishne sudham upagate dharma jnana divi sah kalaunashta dishaisham purana arpudnodita. All the principles have taken shelter in Srimad Bhagavatam, the Grantha avatar of Lord. So these are the 6 questions asked by the sages of Naimisharanya to the Suta Goswami, and then now from next chapter, Suta Goswami will reply. What is the ultimate good? What is the essence of all scripture? Why God appeared? What are the Purusha avatar? What Leela avatar? And here all the religious principles have taken shelter. That we'll see in the next chapter, next weekend. Okay, so it's already 4:30. Okay, one question we can take. Yashika Urja Mataji has question.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
I have many questions actually. Okay, you can take one. Prabhuji, 10th.
Yeah, actually, now questions what we can do from next time, you can ask in the middle also, because I am not so strict that it should be in the end only and then time, because in the middle only, whenever you get question, you can raise hand and you can ask any of you from next time, because that will be the protocol, because I may not keep time in the end. So whenever you get question in the middle, you raise hand and ask like that. But now, of course, you can ask. Yeah.
Prabhuji, in the 10th verse, we heard because of over sense gratification, people's minds become dull. So, Prabhuji, how it becomes dull? I mean, over sense gratification se kaise dull ho jata?
Yeah, see, when see now that verse in Bhagavad Gita, which is Dhyato Vishaya Pumsa Sangaste Shubhajayati Sangat Sanjayati Kamat Kamat Krodho Vijayati Krodhat Bhavati Sammoha Sammohat Smriti Bhramshat Buddhi Nasho Buddhi Nashat Pranashati. So Buddhi Nash means what? One's mind becomes dull when one engages in sense gratification, because when one engages in sense gratification, actually he loses the vital energy. And one loses the vital energy of the body, then one cannot understand subtle matters. When one does sense gratification, and so over sense gratification, some sense gratification is allowed, but when it becomes too much, then one's mind becomes dull. One cannot understand subtle things, because one gets hooked up into the bodily consciousness. And bodily consciousness pe jab tak vyakti hai, he cannot understand subtle matter related to spiritual things. Just like a child, if you see, he is in the pranamay kosh, annamay kosh. So jo bhi mila khane ko. And then little bit he grows in pranamay kosh. How to save myself? Mere liye, sab kuch mere liye. For him, if you say, see how selfless life, sacrifice, worship to God, surrender to God, he will not. You have to surrender to me. I need this, I need that, because he is in that bodily consciousness child, you know. So similarly, those who do sense gratification, so for them, because they get so much hooked in the body, so they think that my body is all in all, and anything related which is higher than the body about the spiritual matters, that doesn't go in the head only. How can that go in the head when one is hooked to the bodily consciousness? One has to leave that bodily consciousness, rise above, then he can understand subtle matters, helping others, serving others, humility, surrender to God, worshipping God. This thing, when we understand, when he rises above bodily consciousness, as long as one is bodily conscious doing sense gratification, there is no question of him to understand these subtle matters. So that's why over sense gratification makes one mind dull to spiritual matters. It's like that. Yeah.
Prabhuji,
Okay.
next question is from 12th verse. 12th verse, last line, Vasudev is the symbol of transcendental position wherein the appearance of the Supreme Lord takes place. So, transcendental position,
This is, which verse you said? 12th, huh?
12th. Last line, last line of the purport. Vasudev is a symbol of transcendental position. So, मतलब spiritually कैसे?
Today is the symbol of transcendental position wherein the appearance of the Supreme Lord takes place. Yeah. Symbol of transcendental position wherein the appearance of Supreme Lord takes place. Like Vasudeva is not just a person also. He is of course a person, you know, from whom Lord appeared, but it is also a symbol of some transcendental position from where actually Lord appears. Means in our life also, when we are situated in the transcendental position, then Lord will appear in our life. So he is also symbolic. So he is also person, but also he is also teaching us that to bring Lord in our life, we have to rise to the transcendental position. When we rise to the transcendental position, then Lord will take birth in our life also. So he is not just one person, Vasudeva, but he also represents some transcendental condition. When we reach that transcendental condition, Lord manifests in our life. So he is like the source of the Lord. So that situation, where we rise to transcendental position, that situation can become father of Krishna, means Krishna manifest in our life in that situation. So he also, that position also can be compared to Vasudeva. That's what Prabhupada is saying. Getting? Like father means source for the son. So similarly, that position, transcendental position, is source of Krishna. So that transcendental position becomes like Vasudeva. Getting? No? So it's like analogy compared. It's like five Pandavas compared with, sometimes we consider compared with the five senses. And yeah, like that. Kurukshetra is like the body. So the personality existed. Along with that, we also compare it with some analogy. Okay, we'll end here. Some devotees have to go and like that. We'll meet next weekend again. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Hari Bo. Srila Prabhupada.
Jai. Jai.